you see that too?
This is no time to ride.
Papa? What is it? Oh, please. Just make it stop. I'm scared.
Come on. Run like the wind. Can't be Rutherford, can it?
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you! If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you shall have!
Allow me.
I don't need your...
Please, Field Marshal. Oblige him.
This won't take long.
You're right. It won't.
Boy, I'm fitting to show you no mercy.
Finish him.
Nah, you about to get clapped up.
A little longer than I'd have liked. Field Marshal Havel, I presume. Are either of you injured?
No, my lord. You arrived just as our escort turned on us.
Fucking traitors. I'd heard reports of soldiers in the outlying regions abandoning the oaths they swore. But I hadn't thought the corruption had reached so close to the heart of the Republic. It's a fucking disgrace. Your interfering old bastard of an uncle tried to warn me, of course. My Lord Marquis. Or is Sid the Outlaw more to your liking?
Call me what you want. It doesn't change who I am, or the urgency of the message I bring. My uncle has a plan to right the realm, and he needs your help to see it through.
Before I agree to anything, I'd have you answer one question. What do you stand to gain from all this?
I won't deny that I might benefit from further chaos. But I seek a new beginning for all of us. And while the choices I've made may not always have been the right ones, I know I made them for the right reasons. For so long, so many of us have been told how we could live, how we could die, when it should have been our decision all along. Now we have a chance to put things right. But in order to take it, we must stand together. Even if it be beside those with whom we don't see eye to eye.
Certainly not the words I expected from an outlaw. But perhaps your uncle was right. You are no ordinary outlaw. I'll never hear the end of this. All right. I'll start by ordering my most trusted guard to bring the Dalmekian fringes under control. Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army and see if I can't convince them to try and restore order in their own territory.
Thank you, Field Marshal.
But they are not the only ones we will need to convince.
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals, but those they answer to require a different kind of persuasion. And when it comes to honeyed words, we will need an envoy. One who can court even the most stubborn of statesmen. You, perhaps?
I'm flattered. But I'm no diplomat either. And I have other problems to attend to. What we need is a skilled arbitrator. And I may know just the person.
Is that so? And would he happen to be an outlaw too?
Of a different kind, perhaps.
Beggars can't be choosers. I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves if we're to make it through this. Very well. Send your man to me right away.
I shall.
My Lord Marquis. Your Lord Uncle bade me escort the Field Marshal to his manor in Port Isolde.
And I will see that my associate joins you there.
Very good, my lord.
An envoy. I'm not sure I'm the man to talk anyone round. I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. No. This is a job for someone with experience. Someone like Quentin. I hope I can convince him at least.
Unwavering will and an unbreakable bond. Do you really think we're strong enough?
To save the world? Of course. To have overcome Father's political enemies? Of that I'm less certain. Especially knowing what we know now. What Mother was truly capable of. But perhaps these bands would have helped. Knowing he was with us would have made all the difference.
It's just back there. Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men. And I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself. Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may. That you might watch over us as we follow in your footsteps.
We won't lay you down.
Onward then.
Onward. To the end.
And to a new beginning.
Jesus, there's so many side quests.
These are clean kills. Perhaps young Ember really is ready. Or maybe not. Damn it. Ember, draw your sword!
I can't!
Then run! If you want him, you'll have to go through me. Ember, are you... Gone. Of course. Scouts really are a rare breed. Back to Northreach it is then.
Got any more of those special elixirs?
I didn't expect you back so soon. Where is Ember? How did he fare?
I thought I'd find him with you. He must have fled. I followed him to Eastwatch, where I found him being set upon by a wild Avis. He was just standing there. Didn't even draw his sword. I had to step in and take care of things. By the time I had, he was nowhere to be seen. I assumed he'd set off in your direction, but apparently not.
I'm sorry, Sid. I knew the boy had a nervous streak, but he seemed like...
The right man for the job? I believe this is the logbook you tasked me with retrieving.
How did you... Don't you tell me you breached the tower while Sid was busy saving your skin.
What? Wasn't that what you asked me to do? To bring the thing back without getting caught?
He has you then, his heir. And he did it all on his own.
But Sid, he
did what he thought was best. And now I have to decide whether I agree.
Of course. We'll await your evaluation back at the hideaway. Don't you leave my sight.
Yes, Sergeant.
This won't be an easy decision. Quentin, I have a proposal for you.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asking more of me than a cask of Gotand gold. Go on then. Propose. You'd have me convince the chiefs and chamberlains of the realm that they should simply swallow their pride and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years. Was there anything else? Perhaps I can fetch you a meat pie as well.
I know it's a lot to ask, but I can think of none better suited to the role.
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to do it. I told you, Clive. The people of Lostwing are my family, and I cannot abandon them. You'll have to find someone else.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So am I.
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any different to what you've done so far? They want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. That's what you do best. If it's the vineyard you're worried about, we'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled. You know we will.
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said yourself we're family. Don't you trust us?
You know that's not what I'm...
Then what are you saying? That only we are worth saving? Why turn your back on everyone else? You convinced us we could build new lives for ourselves, and if you can do that, who's to say you couldn't convince the entire realm?
A stirring argument. I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall somewhat flat by comparison.
So you'll join us?
Where do you need me?
Field Marshal Havel will want to speak with you in person. He's currently in Port Isolde. I can arrange for a party of Cursebreakers to accompany you there.
That would be very much appreciated. I hear the roads are far from safe these days.
Hopefully not for long. My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking shape. Ready, girl? The entire village looks abandoned. Now, which house would a bookworm live in? This is a Royal Army logbook. Did he His interests were certainly varied. This is it. But if what it says is true, I need to get this back to the hideaway.
Leaving so soon, stranger? We've been watching you. From a distance, so to speak.
Subtle. I know who you are.
And we need not waste time on introductions. Hand me the book. Leave it in our care and return to your life.
Your care? Do you mean to burn it or bury it?
That is not my decision to make. But by one means or another, its contents shall be removed from the common record.
Then I'll have to politely refuse. I won't let you erase our history.
Then we find ourselves at an impasse. Very well. The book can just as easily be pried from your dead hand.
I doubt that. Okay. So you sent common folk at me. Gotcha.
Let's see, shall we?
Big man's, well, he's probably gonna go last, but that's alright.
Impressive. But we have other means. We shall claim the book yet.
Why do you want it so badly anyway?
It lays out in no uncertain terms the vanity and avarice of mankind. It tells the shameful history of the persecution and oppression of a gifted few by a giftless many. Would you say that this interpretation was correct?
I don't know.
You don't know. Your sword may be sharp, but your wits are dull. So let me answer for you. There is no correct interpretation of history. That a series of events took place may be proved beyond a doubt. But there can be no single, immutable explanation as to why they came to pass. It is a question of numbers and of belief. If enough people believe that a set of events occurred for a reason.
So you're trying to control the
We are trying to protect people from knowledge that would bring them naught. That is all. You may keep the book. The world is small. Until then.
Wait. Damn it. Let's get this back to Vivian. Perhaps she can...
Boy was down there with the quickness.
Come on.
Now I gotta go all the way over here.
Bet you're all ready. This must be the orphanage. Hopefully the registry is still here. Disposed of. Conditioning. This is nothing short of torture. Herman wasn't exaggerating. It's a wonder he survived this place. This reads like a suicide note. Did the director go through with his plan? There's only one way to find out. Forked white tree. This must be the place. Could he really be buried here? There's something hidden among the roots. Let's see. This must be the registry. So many names. This place was... But where is the architect of all... It was only a matter of time, I suppose. cast. I'm done here.
No, we ain't either. We still got this up here. And just to make sure that's... Wait, hold on. Yeah, we still got something over here, too.
Doris is waiting for me near Balmundark. The longer she's out in the open, the more likely she is to be found by a Kashik. I need to hurry.
Fly, Ambrosia.
I can walk from here. There were no guards, I take it.
None manning the gates. It's a different story inside, though. The corridors are crawling with Akashic. Most likely guards if Chadwick was being held here.
Don't give up hope just yet. But let's move. Let me check the ground floor. The ether's thickest there.
Then I'll search the upper level. Good luck, Sid.
Just how bad are the floods inside the walls? Bad enough to turn a bearer? I hope not. We're risking a lot just being here. Better keep my eyes open for signs of life. Locked up tight. So this place was no ordinary prison. And I doubt they'll have taken the creature. minimal loss of even the imp. They were feeding bearers to it. Nothing but a Akashic down here. Hopefully things are looking better upstairs. I should go and see how Doris is getting on. No lock downstairs. But I did find out that this place was more than just a...
I know. I've been reading some of these documents, and it can't be. Bearers die every day in service of their masters, but pitting bearers against a wild beast armed with nothing but their wits? And not just those who could fight, but the elderly, and those who wouldn't, or couldn't, were disposed.
I'm afraid it means they were fed to the monstrosity they kept here.
Then we're too late.
Don't say that.
A key. But it doesn't fit any...
Perhaps it will fit one of the doors downstairs. Finish up here, then come and find...
All right.
Let's see what we can find down here. Survivor. She sounds close. There's no need to be afraid. Are you alone?
Some of the guards, they're still here. Everyone else...
Thank the fountain.
It was worth our coming. But I'd rather we didn't linger.
Ready when you are. You poor thing. What?
He fought the monster. He must have sent you. He promised... Where is he? He opened your cell, didn't he? He wouldn't be here.
Chadwick.
Was that?
What? monsters?
We have to get out of...
Doris, keep the girls.
All right. You put that bearer-eating bastard in the...
It's out there waiting for me. I can't let it live. Not if it's got a taste for bearers.
Of course, it's a behemoth. Love that. Alright. What up, big boy? It's a hunt.
The beast will wreak havoc if it ever leaves the prison.
Oh,
I can't let that happen.
too soon. As easy does.
Finally.
Sid, are you hurt?
I'm fine. I think.
No.
What is it?
A diary. I gave it to Chadwick before we went our separate ways. He was here.
I'm sure he fought bravely to the last.
Chadwick.
Come on. We have to get her back to the hideaway.
No. I'll see that she's looked after from now on. It's the least I can do.
what I hear, you've barely left the girl's side in days.
She is. Slowly but surely. She's far tougher than she looks. I thank the flames we found her. If we hadn't...
I know. I'm sorry we weren't able to save Chadwick.
There's no need to apologize. Without your help, I would never have found out what happened to her. How he fought to the bitter end to save her. That's the man I remember. The man I thought of as a brother.
I wish I could have met him. I'd like to hear more about your past.
Of course. You already met my former master. She trained Chadwick and I to do two things. Kill, and we were supposed to be sold to the highest bidder when the time came. But no bid was ever high enough to convince her to part with us. For years, we were her daggers in the shadows. But we could never quite shake our doubts about the things she made us do. And then, one day, we just couldn't do them anymore, so we escaped. But staying together was out of the question. They would have found us too easy. After so many years of training, the pull to serve was always strong. It scared me to think he might have taken another master, become a dagger in someone...
But even in captivity, the battles he fought were his own. And he died not as someone's tool, but as a hero.
Haida Marie is proof of that. Bearers can cast off their shackles, and the curse breakers will show them how. I'll fight until my dying breath to see it done. For Chadwick, and for all of us.
Oh, the Masterless Marauder. Oh my god, it's an S rank. We'll see about that. I got another one at the reading table?
You should have seen.
Welcome back, Sid.
Welcome back.
Yes. Welcome back. Trip wasn't too much of a... Truth be told, it was me who suggested roping you in to help with the trial. But from what I hear, things didn't go...
No, they most certainly did not. Ember lost his nerve in the face of a beast of prey, but he didn't lose heart. He pressed on, and he achieved his aim. And is that not what we ask of our scouts?
Indeed it is. Thank you for your honest appraisal, Sid. The fact remains, however, that Ember will not always have a battle-hardened warrior on hand to pluck him from the jaws of peril. All I have gleaned from this trial is that without someone watching his back, Ember is little more than a liability.
Wait, Sergeant. Ember still has much to learn, it's true. And this time he was found wanting. That's aged you a second chance, nonetheless. After all, he did do as you asked.
With a bit of hard work, any hand can be made to hold a blade. And any mind can conquer its fear. But a scout's nose is different. You've either got one, or you ain't. And by sniffing out that log, young Ember here has shown he has a conch and a half. Wouldn't do to waste it now.
Fine.
I'll do whatever you... I'll spend my days and nights in the pit if I have to. I'll show you.
Daft as a brush, that one. But he's hot. Just like someone else. And if you ask me, we've been leaning on him for far too long. That time the curse breakers took some of the weight off his shoulders, I reckon.
Good night.
Just don't tell Gav I said so, will you? I won't have him thinking he's been hard done by. Next thing you know, he'll be asking for it. Charms would be a fine thing.
Forgive me, Sid. This did not play out.
But that's why we need men like Ed. Remember that.
I will, Sid.
You alright?
Something troubling you?
It's just...
I'm sure she'd like...
back in the north. Yeah, I'll let the little tykes know they were well.
So?
Well, the problem is that Ed is due any day now.
Is there anything... All right, then. Not just then.
No. The thing is...
Only the big...
Lad, oh,
There's no... I think I might make...
you're a good...
But how many side quests are there at the end? Like, what in the world? There's just too many to count now.
If Joshua's worried about Jill, I should go and speak with him. Uncle, the Field Marshal has agreed.
Of course.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Port. They will await your return.
One other?
Lord Havel was concerned that even he asked if I might have a solution.
One of...
Master Quinton would probably call me one of...
Another outlaw? Just the thing we need to put these rotten politicos in there. Good thinking, Clive.
I'm glad you approve.
The more the merrier.
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quinton can solve our problem with the art, you still haven't mentioned how we might manage the grain.
Oh, don't you worry. The 7 high houses will be seeing to that. They have all agreed to make the most generous of donations. Oh, of course, it did take a little persuasion. But luckily I had some...
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's head steward, Rockford, from a horde of bloodthirsty bandits.
It was more of a handful.
Well, the old battle axe was so pleased. She had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks by the next new moon. And when the other house... Now, join us there at your earliest...
Of course, Uncle.
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the roads are still overrun with Akashic?
You'll find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether flood. That is, unless you'd have them turn as well.
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger than a band of curls. My soldiers actually need their rations. Without any food to keep them going, they'll be dead even before you've sent them on your fool's errand.
If I may, gentlemen, perhaps I might suggest an alternative approach. Though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships. Indeed, they bob away in every bay from here to Randalar, awaiting a safe haven. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed, ferry the displaced back to the countryside to work the fallow fields. But I'm sure that you wish to continue your discussion. Forgive the interruption. Two such firm friends as yourselves need no help from the likes of me. Rutherford spoke fondly of the great bond between you.
Us? Friends?
I can't stand the man!
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of the company you keep.
And what kind of company were you expecting him to keep? The man's a criminal!
Criminal? How dare you? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this fine, upstanding young gentleman.
Upstanding? He calls himself Sid the Bloody Outlaw!
Once more onto the breach.
Shall we begin again? What we seek here is not to create a new nation, nor to claim the thrones that we wish, simply to bring stability to the realm that mankind might weather the current storm. And to do that, we must convince those in power, the generals, the statesmen, the nobles, that there will be if we show them the fate of the world lies in my nephew, but the well-being of her people lies in ours. And we must not squander the chance that Clive has given us.
Uncle Byron.
Now,